Welcome to the service clinic at Low Country Harley-Davidson. I'm Doc Harley. Here's the scenario. You have a used motorcycle, and you want a little bit more power. So you've done your research and you found a cam that you want to put in your motorcycle. Fantastic. You're all excited and you go to your local shop and say, I want to install this cam in my motorcycle. How much is it going to cost? And the service writer's first thing he's going to say out of his mouth is, well, do you have solid or adjustable push rods? And you look at him going, I don't know, it's a used motorcycle. Let me help you identify what you have so you have an answer for your service writer. Most big twins all have this type of push rod. Sportsters do not, but big twins do. So we want to look inside here to see what we have. So you take a flat tip screwdriver and you install it here. Now we are going to twist this screwdriver and we're going to help push this down just a little bit. And it's going to pop out. We're going to remove this. Now you have to be careful. All we want to do is look inside. We don't want to break anything such as O-rings. We have 3 O-rings, one here, and one here. So I'm going to raise this up. And this O-ring I'm going to massage up. We are not going to use a pick or anything sharp to break this because that means we have to do a whole lot more work on this motor. So all I'm going to do is work this up as high as I can. Now this will slide up. Now I can look, and I am looking for either this or this. This here is a stock solid push rod. This here is an adjustable push rod. So now you have the answer. What do you have in your motorcycle? Well, I have a solid push rod or I have an adjustable. It makes a difference because if you have a solid push rod, we have to remove the pressure on top of the push rod so we can take it out so we can replace the cam. All right. Now, in putting this all back together again, you want to ease this into here. I kind of twist it. So I'm not pinching or I'm not breaking any O-ring. I have not disturbed the O-ring up there. I'm going to slide this down while keeping this pushed up. Then I'm going to take my piece and I'm going to put it up. And I'm going to take my screwdriver. I'm going to leverage and slide it in. Now I have not broken any O-rings. I've got it back where I wanted to. And I have the information I needed. Do I have solids or do I have adjustables? Now let me help you with a little more in identifying if you have adjustable push rods. I usually have a carburetor old spring from a car, or I've got a paper clip with a rubber band to hold this up so I can look at the adjustable push rods and examine them. And the reason I'm going to examine it because there are threads here. And let me show you how to identify this push rod by knowing what threads you have. There are a lot of manufacturers out there with a lot of different push rods, and each one is made to their specifications. Some push rods are identified. You can pick up your push rod and look, and it'll say, oh, this one says Rivera on it, and some have Screaming Eagle written on it. That helps you identify. Once you know who made it, you go online and you find out what their instructions are. Today, all I'm giving you is a ballpark on how to identify your push rod and possibly how to adjust it once you put your cam in. Now, let's go a little bit further into why I need to know identifying this push rod. I want to know how many threads per inch. 1 inch, I count the threads to see how many threads I have per inch. Why? I'm going to get to that on how to adjust your push rod. It's important to know this. Now, I need to count this. Being of the age that I am, all right, I'm going to use this, okay? I can't see that well, but I've got a better, easier way. If you're working on your motorcycle, you probably have a tap and die set. Well, in the tap and die set, you have a pitch gauge. Oh, this is so much easier than trying to count. What you do is you take your pitch gauge, and usually it's between 20 and 40, and you hold up the pitch gauge to your push rod, and you go, no, that's not it. And you go, I got a winner, 24. So I have 24 threads per inch on this push rod. So that helps me identify that push rod and how to adjust it. What I am trying to do is get a hydraulic unit. Now this is very basic, but I have a floating piston in this hydraulic unit, and if you can identify the hydraulic unit, it helps you in knowing how far to adjust it also. But we're talking about a used motorcycle with no identification on the hydraulic unit. Most in the industry want this halfway in the hydraulic unit, so the oil underneath it keeps the push rod at zero lash. Right? So to get it halfway, most manufacturers are saying that there's 200 thousandths of travel in a hydraulic unit, and I want it halfway. Now, different manufacturers have halfway. Let me give you an example. I have a Bob Wood identified by the Prowler on here. On his instructions, he wants it 120 to 130 inside his hydraulic, where over here is fueling and they want 100. So it'd be great if you knew the identification of yours, but we're going on the aspect that no, we don't know anything. So this is a ballpark thing. We identified our adjustable push rod at 24 thread. That means the distance per one full turn of your adjustable push rod is 0.0417. That calculates out to get it to 100, I turn the adjustable push rod 2.39 turns. Now this is just ballpark. Now if you're a mathematician, 1 over threads per inch. You can do the math if you forgot this chart, and it will give you the same type of information. Now, if you're an engine builder, I am not doing the big science thing. There is so much to adjusting push rods. There has to be the oil filled in the hydraulic unit. You have to have so much on the cam lobe and all this kind of stuff. That's a whole different video. This is just to help you identify what do you have. So when you go into your local shop with your cam and all excitement and you go, I want to install this cam in my motorcycle, and he says, well, do you have adjustables or solids? You go, I got adjustables. I even know that there are 24 threads per inch on my adjustables. And you'll go, this guy kind of knows some information here. Hope this helped you in your identification of your used motorcycle and your excitement about putting a cam in your motorcycle. I'm Doc Harley. We'll see you next week.